So, we've been sitting back and talking a whole lot about the future. We've been talking about how Dodge is pretty much going fully electric with the exception of like a inline six Hurricane engine. We've been talking about how Ford is going to stick with that V8, hell or high water, they're going to stick with the V8 and the Mustang. Chevy is obviously going to be killing the Camaro here pretty soon and pretty much putting all their eggs in the Corvette basket, the C8 first mid-engine, American sports car we've ever seen. Sticking with the V8, of course, and possibly even twin turbo in it and taking it to a whole nother level. My question to you is, have you guys thought about what you're going to do in the future, like after 2023? And I say that to say you got a couple options. If you're a Dodge loyalist, you can say, okay, well, I'm going to try to get me a Scat Pack or a Hellcat before they're all gone. Or I'm going to hold on to what I got and just be happy I got it. Or I'm going to take a step into the future and go with the electric Dodge Charger that's coming out in 2024, right? Or are you going to switch brands, move on to Ford, move on to the new Mustang with the big V8, move on to Chevy with the mid-engine Corvette, possibly twin turbo V8? That's a big question, man. Let's just talk for a minute if we can. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Knockout 360 here with another video for you guys. So you can tell I'm in a car that makes this a car blog. You already know how it's going down when I come around. Let's get into it. Car content, car shows, car reviews, car meets, anything and everything car related happens on this channel. So if you're into that, make sure that you stick around because you are in the right place. For everyone else, hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you know what's coming out and when it's coming out, man. So let's just talk. I've been hitting you guys with a lot of facts, a whole lot of figures, numbers, statistics, a whole lot of unveilings have been going on here recently, with Dodge, with Ford, even Kia dropping some new heat on the scene, 500 plus horsepower EV that they're going to be dropping. My question to you, and one question that I haven't really asked because I've just kind of been force feeding, Dodge down your throat, get your Hellcat, get your Scat Pack, jump ship and go get you a Ford or get you a Chevy. One question I haven't asked you guys is, what do you think you're going to do in the future as it pertains to cars? And I say that to say, like, there's a couple schools of thought here. There are a couple people or different kind of mindsets that people kind of have right now. Like, if you're a Dodge loyalist, you might say to yourself, well, you know what? It's been a good run. We had the Hellcat era. We had the Scat Pack era, we had the big V8 HEMI era. It was fun, but I'm just going to hold on to what I got and, call it a day. And, maybe just hold on to your car and keep it as a relic. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, tune it up and whatever you got, whether it's a Scat or a Cat, just hold on to it and keep it simple like that. Not even bother upgrading or jumping ship. And then there's the other school of thought where it's like, we still got one more year of the big V8. I'm going to try to get my Scat Pack or my dream Hellcat before it's all said and done, and then I'm going to bow out quietly, right? Because, I mean, you get your Hellcat in 23, 717, 797, 807, you got a powerful monster. A one-of-a-kind powerful monster, especially going into the future when everything's going to go electric. So you're sitting on equity. You're sitting on an investment. You don't realize this, but right now, as I'm talking to you sitting inside of an investment in the next 10 to 15, 20 years when stuff like this doesn't exist. So you got that mindset, the last minute people, I'm just going to try to make a push and get me a Scat Pack or a Hellcat before it's all said and done and just call it a day. Then you've got the other Dodge loyalist that says, you know what, the future isn't too bad. Electric cars aren't too bad. Let's just make this clear. Nobody gives a damn about the i6 Hurricane engine. So I'm not even going to mention that. I just wanted to explain. Nobody gives a damn about the i6 Hurricane. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody, I haven't seen a single comment in my YouTube videos or Instagram that's like, that Hurricane engine sounds pretty good. Nobody gives a damn about it. It's either a V8 or nothing. And then, like I said, you got that final group that's like, the future isn't too bad, man. Electric engines or electric powered automobiles is the future. Dodge is taking a step in the right direction. They're going to be the first ones at the party. I'm going to give the 2024 Dodge Charger electric Banshee a try. Now, with that mindset, the electric Banshee stands to be easily the most powerful car that Dodge has ever produced. They understand that in order to keep our attention, they have to give us something that is just as powerful, if not more powerful, to attract us. Honestly, it has to be more powerful, because if they come out with the top of the line Banshee in 2024 and it's putting down 700 plus horsepower, people are not going to bat an eyelash at that. Reason being is because a lot of you guys already got a 700 horsepower Hellcat sitting in the garage right now. So there's no way that you're going to force people to essentially trade over for the sake of, you know, electronics or an electric powered car. So there's that group. And then there's other groups where it's like, you know what, I'm jumping ship. I had fun with Dodge. I had a Scat, you know, I had a Cat, and I just don't like the direction that Dodge is going in. I'm going to jump ship and go out and get me a Ford Mustang V8, because as of right now, Ford has just dropped the, you know, the good old-fashioned 5.0 GT, equivalent to a 5.7 Hemi. They dropped the Dark Horse 5.0, 500 plus horsepower, and you know, like I know, they're also going to be dropping a GT 500 edition, I'm sure, at some point. That's going to be 800 plus, right? And then, of course, you've got Chevy that's killing the game with the C8. I saw a C8 the other day behind me, and it's a gorgeous car. I'm not even going to front. Nothing about the C8 looks American, you know, aside from the kind of boxy body. But it looks like, you know, a scalpel. Like, it just cuts through air. When Chevy finally drops some real serious power in that car, Chevy's on top again. It's lighter, it's more agile, it's mid-engine, so I'm assuming the, you know, the what am I looking for? You know, the weight balance is probably a whole lot better than a front engine powered car. It can do it all. Like, you put it on the strip, it's going to take you from 0 to 60, 0 to 100, quarter mile it's going to take you. And then you put it on the track, I imagine it's going to take you as well. And then if they're really going to be dropping a V8 twin turbo capable of 800 plus horsepower, which is what I've been hearing, it's all over. Chevy will be king in the future. You know, what are you guys going to do? Like, what are you thinking right now? Me personally, I would like to get a Hellcat. And then I don't know from there as far as Dodge is concerned. Me and electric cars right now, I'm just not feeling it. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. For a lot of you guys, it's different because some of you guys live on the West Coast and you've got more accessibility to electric accessories, components, what have you. You know, your state or your city is much more electric car friendly. I'm in the South. You know, I'm in the South. As of right now, I can think of 2 Tesla power stations off the top of my head in Charlotte. If you're in Charlotte, you know what I'm talking about. There's one in Ballantyne that's off of North Community House Road, and there's another one off of Mallard Creek. But even these two, there's only, I want to say, 6 power stations. So if everybody's driving electric powered cars, and total, there's only 12 power stations or 12 powered grids or whatever, you know, it defeats the purpose of having an electric car. At that point, I would rather just pay money to get gas and fill up in 85 seconds, and then I'm on my way, as opposed to sitting, waiting for my car to power up, and it takes 25 minutes to do so. So I don't live in a electric car friendly city or state or even region, because you know, aside from maybe like Atlanta, I think Atlanta's getting more electric friendly. Florida, probably more electric friendly, depending on what parts of Florida, maybe like the Miami, the Orlando, kind of the more commercial areas. But, you know, some of these kind of smaller southern towns, they wouldn't even know what an electric car is. Oh, what is that, brother? You know, what's in it? You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really interested in electric powered anything, to be honest with you, at all. I'll stick with gas for a little bit longer. So that's out of the question for me. So Dodge has really got to do something extremely special to get me off of the gas powered train, you know. I think everyone at some point was a Mustang guy. I think we got to admit that, you know, we're all Mustang guys at some point or another. And I say that to say, like, a lot of us growing up, you know, especially people that were born in the 90s like myself, and maybe even the late 80s, yeah, I could say 80s, 90s, or of course early 2000s, Dodge really didn't have anything to offer as far as muscle was concerned. So we didn't grow up seeing anything from Dodge, especially other than like the SRT Neon or the SRT 10 Ram truck, but they never gave us a true muscle car in our upbringing. So the only Dodge that we saw was old school muscle cars And then, like I said, the neons and the rims, you know. So a lot of gearheads grew up on Ford Mustang. We grew up idolizing the Ford Mustang. We grew up idolizing the Corvette, you know, even the Camaro. So for a lot of us, a lot of people are going to jump ship. And I'm just going to be honest with you. I think Dodge is going to lose a lot more business than they anticipated. And a lot of people are going to jump ship, or they're just going to hold on to what they got. You know, it's one of those things like you got to know when to hold them and when to fold them. And I think a lot of people are going to hold on to either what they got and just kind of bow out quietly of the, you know, the muscle car race. Because right now it is a race. I mean, Chevy's doing this, Ford's doing this, and then at one point Dodge was doing this as well. Every year Dodge was up in the ante. And a lot of people, like, just think about it. A lot of you guys that drive cars right now have probably bought more cars in the last 5 years as far as upgrading constantly than you have in the last 20 years. You know, just because you're a muscle car guy, you're a car guy, there's a huge kind of push around car culture right now. And, you know, it's just cool to have the next best thing. I want the more powerful this. So when Dodge dies and they slow down completely, it's going to be a situation where, you know, I don't even need to upgrade anything. Like, I'm just going to hold on to what I got. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to upgrade. I don't need to move on to anything. If you got a Hellcat, there's really nothing to upgrade above that other than maybe a red eye or a jailbreak or something like that. But even realistically, nobody's doing that. You just be happy you got the cat. Like, it's a beast in and of itself. You know what I'm saying? And that's what that is. It's you know, that's the future for a lot of people. Like, a lot of people are just going to say, you know what, it was fun. We had fun doing what we were doing, but I'm not going to keep running or keep up with this race because there's really nothing that's interesting me right now. So that's kind of my question, man. I'm just curious, like, what do you guys plan on doing? Are you going to hold on to what you got? Are you going to move forward in the future, go electric? Are you trying to get that last Hellcat, that last Scat Pack before they no longer exist so that you can say you got what you always wanted? Or are you jumping ship, moving on to Chevy, moving on to Ford? Maybe you guys that are diehard muscle car fans and you still want to, you know, live in that V8 era. You say to yourself, you know, I want to keep moving and I want to keep, you know, stay in this V8 race. In which case, you know, like I said, the future only holds V8s for Chevy and Ford at this point. So jumping ship may be, you know, the next move. Like, what do you plan on doing? I love my Scat, and I know a lot of you guys love your Scats, and the Scat is a powerful car. It's the V8 experience. Like, it's the, let's be honest here, like, the Scat may be the true V8 experience. Like, there's no supercharger. I saw a quote the other day that said, if your car needs a supercharger or a turbo on it, it wasn't built the right way in the first place. I don't remember who said that. I'll put the graphic up if I can find it. But, you know, if you need all that extra stuff on top of it, it wasn't built the correct way in the first place. And with the Scat, it's just a big 6.4, just a big Hemi, big ass engine, 5.7, big Hemi in there. And a lot of people, that's perfect. That's perfectly fine. You don't need anything else on top of that. But some people want to, you know, they want to be in that rat race where they want the next most, you know, powerful thing or the newest thing or what have you. And for you guys, after Dodge goes electric, what do you plan on doing? Are you going to stay a loyalist to Dodge or are you going to jump ship? You know, that's a good question, man. I got to ask that because, you know, I'm just kind of curious where everybody's head is right now because even myself, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what my future holds with Dodge. So talk to your boy, man. Like, subscribe, comment. It's been your boy Knockout 360, man. I just want to have some dialogue with you. You know, what does the future hold for you? Are you going to stay a Dodge loyalist or are you bouncing? As always, it's been your boy Knockout 360, man. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.